Hi, Abraham. I have to say I'm totally floored because I had a premonition that I would be the first one called. And I don't know how it happened.
Well, this group is gathered before you dragged your physical bodies here. And the energy of the group is already understood. So the intensity of what you want to know and the balance of the vibration within you has already lined that up. So when you have a premonition, all it means is you're reading the energy accurately. We're done.
My question is this. I'm wanting to know when to take action. If to take action.
After you get a premonition. Well, we're not kidding. In other words, when you have a premonition of something wanted, that means you're lined right up with it. In other words, the premonition that you experienced here or earlier was significant enough that it got your attention, didn't it? It was exhilarating when the manifestation matched it. Are you following this? This is really an important thing. When you've been living life and you've been building this vortex, so what you want is already amassed. All of the cooperative components are already assembled. So the feeling of inspiration, that feeling of being ready to act about something, that's the feeling that comes when you're close enough to the vortex that the vortex takes you in. Let's be clear about this. Whether it's a premonition or a feeling of inspiration, it is from that vantage point that we would act, and only from that vantage point that we would act. You talk about getting your ducks in a row. We talk about getting your energy lined up. When you've been hovering on the edge of your vortex, or it's taking you in enough that you're vibrationally up to speed, that's when those inspirational thoughts begin to flow to you. And when those inspirational thoughts begin to flow, that's when to take action. Esther has been noticing something recently because she and Jerry are together all of the time, and his mind is very fast. He's thinking about a lot of things, and they have so many projects that are in the works, building projects and book projects and recording projects and scheduling projects, all kinds of wonderful things that are manifesting and calling for action. And what she's begun to notice is that when one or the other of them will have an idea, when Jerry will say, oh, we need to remember to call so-and-so about such and such, Esther is taken to snatching the phone up and making the call right then, if she can, because she knows that that is an inspired thought that has come to him. In other words, when it comes, that's because everything's lined up. The time is now. When that thought comes, now is the time to act on it. Don't write it on a list and then type it into your computer and then sort it by category and then prioritize it by A, B, C, D. The moment will pass. In other words, you have this vortex that is queuing you up, and when you feel just the idea that the thought came, in other words, you like that, don't you? Now stay with us. This is really an important thing. Do you get the idea of this vortex? Must be annoying. That invisible sphere that Abraham keeps pointing at the floor, this vortex of creation, and they call that reality. They call that reality. Ignore all of this walls and ceilings and lights and manifestation, but this is the reality. But it is. It really, really is. This is this vibrational reality, this vibrational gathering where all cooperative components have been gathered. We tease our physical friends by saying you're often the only uncooperative component to your own hopes and dreams. Because in your pessimism or in your facing reality, you hold yourself as a vibrational difference to what you're asking for. But when an idea occurs to you, you know that feeling, I should do something or I want to do something? That means, for sure, the vortex took you in. That's why you rendezvoused with the idea. And when that occurs to you, act on it. And until then, let your dominant intention be just to get into the vortex.
It seems like I have a lot of things that come up, and I get thrown out of the vortex. So what I'm wanting is that inspiration to come in.
So if you linger more hopefully, in other words, if you just try to be more optimistic, but here's the thing, aren't there dozens, if not hundreds, of subjects that you already feel good about? Couldn't you use any of those as your reason to be in the vortex? The vortex doesn't say, wrestle your problem to the ground, and when it's proper, we'll allow you to drag it into the vortex. That's not how it works at all. The vortex is over there spinning with everything that you have become and everything that you want and all cooperative components gathered, and you just want to stop beating the drum of what's not in the vortex, and when you stop beating the drum of what's not in the vortex will take you in. Really, it's like that. You don't have to try to get into the vortex. You just have to stop doing the stuff you're doing that keeps you out. And the stuff that you're doing that keeps you out is complaining, worrying, watching CNN. The stuff that keeps you out is anything that you're doing when you feel negative emotion. And so meditation is a way in. Basking is a way in. Playing a foolish game. Esther's been playing a foolish game of ABC, where she looks for an in the vortex word that starts with every letter. Appreciation, basking, clarity, delicious, ease, flow, happy. And the game is quite interesting, actually, because some of the letters are hard. And you just can't focus on something like that and focus upon anything that holds you out of the vortex at the same time. So in you go, and a whiff of inspiration hits you. And then, if you're wise enough to know that inspiration means you are now a cooperative component, act on the inspiration that you felt. Now you're in the game, you see. We just want you to know that there's this huge energy that when you work in concert with it, then life is blissful. Esther's favorite alphabet words are ease and flow, ease and flow, ease and flow. When she found those words, ease and flow, she usually spends 2 minutes on ease and flow. Ease and flow. ABCD, ease and flow, ease and flow, ease and flow. It's just such a delicious contemplation, the ease and flow, because the engine is the vortex. The engine is the law of attraction. The engine is the larger source energy part of her. It's already done. It's present tense. Ease and flow. There's nothing that I have to do, but there's plenty that I want to do. In other words, when you do it because you want to do it, you know that you're in the ease and flow energy of the vortex. And when you do it because you have to do it, when you do it because you should do it, when you do it because somebody else wants you to do it, even Jerry and Esther, they really love each other and they are really involved in the same work. And when Jerry asks Esther to do something when she's got something else on her mind, she'll do it. But he was better off not to ask. She never says no. She just does things out of the vortex. And really, nobody wants anybody to do anything out of the vortex. You really don't. You don't want to motivate your employees to work hard for you out of the vortex. You want to figure out how to shine a light on the vortex so that they're inspired into the glorious ease and flow creative behavior of their experiences, you see. We want you to want the same for yourself. Most of you, we love you very much. Treat yourself like a bad behaving employee. You do. You say to yourself, shape up. You need to be better. You need to do better. And we say, no, you don't. You just want to tend to your vibration and be who you really are. And who you really are is really bright and smart with really good timing and wonderful intuitiveness and wonderful uplifting abilities. Who you are is one who loves easily and thinks openly and expands profusely. Who you really are is someone who adores life and who loves yourself and who loves others. That's who you really are. Who you really are is an uplifter, an optimistic being who adores being here and who just cannot wait to get your hands in the creative clay of your life experience, because you know who you are, and who you are is so wonderful, and the worthiness is not an issue. You just expect wonderful things to happen to you because you are an eternal being and wonderful things have been happening to you, and you know that wonderful things are continuing to happen. In other words, that's who you are. Enough?
Yes. Thank you
Yes,
very
indeed.
much.